All right, friend or foe, friends and family, we are back with our second interview. I've now realized what I did. Sorry, I'm hearing myself on another screen. Anyway, not talking to myself there. Hello, friends and foe, friend or foe, friends and family. I am joined by Elfrith, victorious mid laner, the dog, over here from Oversoul. How are you feeling after the win?
I'm feeling real good. I got to play probably my favorite champion. It's the Borf gang. We run around and bark all game.
Let's talk about the draft before we get into the game, because you definitely did some numbers on this Nefiri. The first thing that stuck out to us in the draft, though, was that the Volibear came through decisively on B1 from in the trees. You folks ended up rounding out your draft, picking out the Nefiri for yourself. I'm just curious, what were your folks' thoughts going into this draft and how things shook out?
Yeah, so like heading into this week, we knew Nefiri was going to be enabled, and I've played a lot of it. So well, I can't say all of us, but like I thought I was going to get banned because it's my most played right now, and we kind of anticipated they would ban the Volibear. So the minute that they didn't ban it, like they had to first pick it because it doesn't make sense for people to keep giving it to Swifty, right? Like he's done really well on it every single time he gets it. And so the minute they drafted it, like that made a lot of sense to us. So it was really about getting Swifty, another comfort pick in a matchup that he felt was going to be good into the Volibear. We thought it was going to be Volibear jungle, but like it would have made sense if it was Volibear top two. And we kind of coin flipped when we took, I can't remember, I think we took Gwen R3, right?
Yeah.
Before they had shown top. And so like it could have been Volibear top, and I think that realistically would have been stronger because that would have been better into the Gwen, but the Gnar still did really well. Like the Gnar was a really good pick, right? But we kind of knew we were going to pick Nefiri all along because I was just really hype about it. And so the minute they locked in Corki, we like did a quick double check to make sure that it's what I wanted, and we just full sent it, and it worked out pretty well.
Let's talk a little bit about playing out the Nefiri in this game, because the one thing that stood out to me was during the second dragon fight, maybe the third dragon fight, you're able to just like burst people right there at the beginning of the fight, and then you had to kite up over the wall, and then you're just trying to like throw out your Qs there, but like you bursted them down so much, and then just like the amount of follow-up damage that you're able to come through with the ultimate, even when you don't have the ultimate, just being able to follow up and poke with your, or come through with your Q, if they get poked out a little bit more. Talk to me, if you could, about what it's like to prowl with the pack.
Yeah, so I mean, the biggest thing is you have to bark the entire time you play, right? Like comms are just you going Borf, nonstop. Um, but like the biggest things are just one, like having a team comp that allows it, which our team is really generous, and every time I've had to sub in, they go out of their way to accommodate what I want to play, or in this case Nefiri, right? So we made sure we had AP elsewhere. But like as you're looking at the game, like laning is pretty straightforward. It's just double Q the wave and push it. Because double Q is just free wave clear. It's kind of stupid.
Well, it's very surprising to me, just touching on what you're saying there about the lane matchup, is that you really like you're making sure that Corki was like perma low on mana, because he just had to, like, I didn't realize like how good your wave clear was, like at a certain point. I'm guessing when you have 2 or 3 points in, it's just like free low, because like it just seemed like Corki just permanently have to expend mana to keep the wave off the turret.
Yeah, so your mana is like decent. Your mana cost isn't high. The wave clear, I think it's at the third point of Q, starts to become really insane because you just double Q and then E, and you basically clear the whole wave. And then like the other thing that's nice is if he walks up to try and like last hit and he's near his back row, if you hit the Q, then your dogs immediately run and jump on him. And the dogs are the thing that like people don't realize do an insane amount of damage. Like they're actually probably the real MVP. And so like when you're in lane, you just land the Q, let the dogs hit them, and then you kind of let it sit there for a second. If you can hit the second Q, it's great because it chunks. But if you can't, then it's fine and it still works out.
right. Well, Elfrith, you definitely had that dog in you this game. Really excellent showing on the Nefiri. Before we step away, final opportunity for you. Any final thoughts? Any shout outs? Any banter?
No banter. I think everyone, like, I've subbed in a few games. Everyone's been really, I think, welcoming and awesome to play against. This is a pretty swell league. I think the only thing I'd say to people is just, just keep the Borf in your heart. And, pet your dogs.
Pet your dogs. That's a fact. Make sure that you're don't be like me. Don't step on your cat's tails. Don't step on your dog's tails. Since that happened to me earlier. Oops. But yeah, take care of your pets. Get your, as Bob Barker would say, make sure you get your pets spayed or neutered. And folks, that's gonna be it for us on game number 2. We're gonna take a short break, and we'll be back very shortly with our final game of the night. So don't go too far. Game 3 is coming up next.
welcome back everyone to FOF Season 7, the final season, the final week, the final game of the second last day here. We're Adam alongside Chris Edgeworth as we get Fat Pikachu versus Asura Gaming. Despite what their records may show here, it isn't up to date, so we'll get that sorted out in a little bit, but nonetheless, happy to be back with you here, Edgeworth.
Yeah, another thing to point out is that there are a couple of switcheroos going on in the teams. Jakunk is going to be subbed out for today, and I forget what the other one that you had noted was also a sub.
Potato fries for Polar.
There you go. So a little bit of shake up there as well. Fat Pikachu, though, if you can remind me, I think we were talking about this in the green room. It's Fat Pikachu that is needing to get the win here to create the ultra tiebreaker scenario. Is that what's going on?
So the ultra tiebreaker scenario ends up being if Fat Pikachu lose today, they're at 9-7 right now. If they lose today and they lose tomorrow, they will be at 9-9. If Yubi win tomorrow and INT win tomorrow, they will also all be at 9-9. What that means is Asura Gaming would have to lose both of these games to fall to 11-7, in which case BBZ winning today and potentially winning tomorrow could end up leapfrogging over them for third, but I believe BBZ will have to... They might have a bye game. I have no idea. You know what? Something like that. There's a way to get a three-way tie. There's a way to get like two-way ties. There's a way to get a whole boatload of ties, and we'll figure it out from there. Nonetheless, into draft we go. Orin, Caitlyn, Cho'Gath, Ash, and Lulu picked up already. Oatmeal 1,234, picking my favorite champion of the patch, alongside Lulu.
Yep, and so they're gonna have the bot side sorted out. It's unless there's any shenanigans, don't think we're gonna see mid lane Lulu. So Zyra gonna get answered here, which if they do is gonna round out an extremely potent bot side for Azura. They're gonna have a lot of damage to be able to dump out early on in that laning phase. So it's going to be incumbent on Oatmeal 1,234 and Rapterror to make sure that they're able to manage that pressure. Looking into the second ban phase, though, J4 is going to be banned away from Kenny Train, ostensibly. And then we're going to see the Jace ban the other way as well. So with all things being told, I mean, it's just top laners and bot laners, so there's still jungle and mid lanes to sort out here. So targeting High Reef, who I believe had a very standout game on the Jace last week. So we're still seeing how these things shake out here.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how this bot lane works out, because Caitlyn Lux is one of those lanes that you're so used to seeing, but Piplup going to be pulling out the Zyra this time around. And this is an interesting development I want to note out of the side of Asura Gaming here, because Piplup has always been playing sort of these engaged supports, and they've been incredibly good at shutting down a lot of these engages from other teams. They recognize already that Ash is going to have that automatic engage button. They have Stormblast on this Orin to follow up on that. So just being able to sort of shut that down a little bit, or at least create space with the Strangled Thorns, is a huge point of agency for the side of Asura Gaming, as well as the Nocturne just turning out the light, saying, hey, no one sees anything, we get to control the pace of this fight.
Yeah, the darkness comes. It does give them a little bit more AD in their composition as well, so they won't have to worry too much about the damage profile of whoever they choose to put in the mid lane. Hecarim being an interesting answer from the likes of Fat Pikachu. And I guess we'll see how they round it out here in the mid lane. No mid lane shown from Azura, so they are surely not. Okay, remember earlier when I said it's probably not Lulu mid? Might have been a little wrong. I don't know.
There's also Sejuani hovered right now, so this could be Nocturne mid.
Ooh, oh, well, and yeah. There it is. I mean, this is crazy. This is just crazy draft here. Now, the thing to point out is that there is a lot on the table for this game. So, this is some, some ninth dimensional mahjong, secret dark technology coming out from both sides. So we'll have to see. Fat Pikachu does have their destiny in their hands here, so we'll have to see if they're able to pull off the win as we get into game. So we'll just have to see how things shake out. And here it is. It's the Lulu mid with exhaust, no less. So absolutely no fun happening in that mid lane into that Nocturne matchup as everything gets shaken up topsy-turvy on the bottom side of the draft. The first side of the draft was very rote and standard. Second half, not so much.
Yeah, I think a major thing to keep in mind is, especially since Jakunk isn't playing, and Jakunk has been sort of that hard carry for the side of Fat Pikachu for so long, it's interesting to see that Goy coming through here is just filling in more of a supportive role. Another thing to note, Kenny Train, the jungler, is playing Ashe, Oatmeal 1234 going Ghost on the Hecarim as well. This is an intro. What is going on with Fat Pikachu?
I guess, like I said, this must be the dark tech. This is their final strategy. Forgive me, Master. I must go all out just this once, and it seems like this is what they got for him. As there's some little level 1 trade. Piplup's just gonna take a little damage for their trouble showing up there. All things being told, though, it looks like both junglers are going to be starting unsupported and on opposite sides of the map.
Yeah, and something completely unrelated to the game at all, but slightly related to the game, is the fact that Piplup is playing against a Fat Pikachu here. And as most fans who played, Diamond and Pearl know, Piplup's a water type. Fat Pikachu might just have that extra little zap in them to shut this down, and Piplup already taking super effective damage on that bottom side of the map, forced to burn both of those potions very early on. Piplup, normally seen as the aggressor in this lane, is the one getting aggressed upon. Has to reinforce that lane a little bit more, especially against this ultra-ranged bot lane of the Ashe and the Senna.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing that you get out of swapping this Lulu out of this lane, is that you have 2 ranged AD carries that can, one, put out a lot of poke as one.
Yeah, Raptor needs to flash away. You're gonna get caught with those thorns, and Piplup fights back. It's a critical hit, first blood, going over to the Emperor. Piplup finds it again on the Zyra.
It's a good thing I didn't finish saying that they could play safe and still have the ability to get rid of any of the Zyra plants at range, but, oops, my bad. Didn't mean to, think a curse onto Raptor. But that is kind of the problem when you have this Caitlyn Zyra lane. As we go back, Zach hit his keyboard. All good.
Oh.
yeah, it happens. No, I'm just making sure everyone knows it's not like we're just, mistakes happen. Yeah, so anyway, back to normal. But, yeah, that fight on the bot side, it was, that's what happens. Caitlyn Zyra put out a lot of damage level 2. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, and it's sort of a reflection of how Piplup wants to play these games, is to overwhelm the opponents at every course and just play as aggressive as possible. I think it's been an interesting storyline to watch Piplup play as aggressively as they have, because Oscar Gaming's success has come a lot through Happy Ending and Piplup on this bottom side of the map. We were talking about how Kenny Hammerspike could be an MVP candidate, as Handicapo says, "Welcome to the league, Goy, die."
The interesting thing about that is Goy, dies there, saves the exhaust, burns the flash. Interesting to see. Stormblast gonna get ganked here.
Yeah, Stormblast needs to be careful as Lindblom already up here, just waiting on that stun. Up you go, says Potato Fries. And it's a coup d'etat on the top side of the map. It's a kill picked up by Potato Fries, and Asura Gaming, once again, playing to their early game advantages, playing as aggressively as we've ever seen them. Piplup is tempting fate against Oatmeal 1234 as well. Piplup has no fears.
Yeah, and looking at things holistically, it's 4 minutes, and there's 3 kills on the side of Asura Gaming. That's not good. I'm gonna say it. That's not great. So Fat Pikachu, they're gonna have to just play pretty reserved, very conservative through this early part of the game, because it's already not good when you got every single lane has got kills somewhere. Funnily enough, I'm just now looking at the scoreboard. Piplup got the solo YOLO onto Rapterror there. No assist going over to Caitlyn on that one, so it was just straight up supportal combat.
Yeah, one could say it wasn't a happy ending for Rapterra or for Happy Ending. And not getting any gold out of it. Piplup just saying, I'll take this into my own hands. I got this. You don't need to worry. But now, I'm just going to continue to try and reinforce this bot lane even further. Something to note about Asura Gaming's games, Asura's gaming, is that they play very aggressively. They like to play aggressively. And fun fact, every time I cast an Asura game, Happy Ending will always DM me afterwards and say, hope you enjoyed that one. And I'm like, I lost my voice after this game because you get, 2 kills a minute. I don't know how to keep up with this. You're my favorite team to watch, but you're also my worst nightmare because the next day I'm like, this isn't great. So they know full well that they play like maniacs. And yet it works. For all the glory, they still make it work. And it's been a stronger second half, it feels like, from Asura Gaming on all accounts. They've been very strong against teams that are below them in the standings and matched against the top teams as well.
Yeah, and I'm just over here. I'm trying to do some work to help out my boy Zach here because there's a keyboard shortcut for the map. Yeah. The mini map, we are aware, folks. There's keyboard shortcuts that even I don't know, and I've been observing the entire time, friend or foe. So he'll figure it out. We'll find a moment to fix it. Yeah, next time there's a quiet moment, he can go into the settings or whatever if we can't find the keyboard shortcut. But we're chilling. We're chilling right now. So just know we got it.
Chilling.
Yeah,
neither is Oatmeal. Neither is Happy Ending. Neither is anyone on this bottom side of the map. Happy Ending is going to be a little disappointed with that one. Left astray. Oatmeal 1,234. It needs about another 1,232 kills to match their name, but they got 2. Not bad.
Yeah, well, in the end, that is exactly what Fat Pikachu needed to have happen. They just had to fly casual. They got some gold back in their pocket. Everything's cool. We're back within 1,000 gold, 500 gold, really. So first dragon in the pocket of Azura is basically about the entire gold difference, more or less. Although I will point out that hell yeah, that's hey, give it up for Sherigan in the chat, people. Our producer extraordinaire, making it so I don't have to produce every game of League of or Friend or Foe ever. As
oh yeah, Oatmeal 1,234 once again under stress from Handicapo here, but unfortunately is slightly handicapped by the fact that they are exhausted. That's what they were saving it for. Happy Ending gets their revenge. Sweet release on the kill there, finding Oatmeal. Now Oatmeal gonna have to think about their life for a little bit. Goy as well, just not happy about this. Goy is not having a good debut for Fat Pikachu right now. The long-time substitution is getting ganked under the tower, shoved into the glacial prison. And Lindblom finds their first of the game.
Well, as soon as I give them a compliment, Fat Pikachu, they get struck back. Ashura Gaming collapses onto the mid lane. Had to burn that exhaust. Gui got out, but just for a moment as they just executed the dive, were able to clean him up. No exhaust left, no ultimate left for Gui, and just has to die there. Rapterra, little dangerous wards there, has to burn the flash. I think we're flying casual. I think it's fine. Yeah.
I don't know how casual an Asura Gaming game can get. And I'm gonna have to just call it an Asura Gaming. How casual Asura Gaming can get. There we go. That works. All of these fights can be close, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They want to fight as often as possible. They thrive in the chaos. They advocate for chaos at every single twist and turn. Handicapo going to advocate for pushing this wave in, taking a nice little chip damage from the Lost Chapter Lulu, and making sure Goy struggles to get all that CS under tower.
Yep, and meanwhile, the tanks be doing tank things up here. I'm curious to see. I don't think the Orin ult's going to come through, so just trading some health back and forth. Just, buffing their damage to champions numbers because they're just stat gamers. It happens. Top laners. But looking at mid lane, though, Handicapo doing some serious work here. We see Oatmeal is trying to wrap around here. I don't know. Oh, yep, I'm going to come in.
Yeah, they're going to wrap around, but Rapterra is in the Cafe of Death there with lots of plants being tossed down. Oatmeal dealing a decent chunk to Happy Ending, but once again, the ending is not as expected. The fairy tale ends. Once again, the Caitlyn taken down by a gank from Oatmeal 1,234. Kenny Train taking a lot of damage from Piplup, though. Level 5 on the Zyra still needs to be cautious. Health bars are low on multiple sides, but Piplup gets cut down once again. Hecarim gank number 3. It was super effective. Fat Pikachu find themselves a couple more kills on the bottom side of the map, and this has been both their shining light and their downfall in so many situations. They live and die by their bot lane. When Blackpink Trash was playing with them on the bottom side, they would firmly stomp games. But now the switch over. First Oatmeal 1234, now Kenny Train. They're finally getting a little bit of a lead through the bot side.
Yeah. The other thing to point out though is that even all the assists being spread to the bot lane, and they were able to actually just sort of bait it out as they extended that fight there. But all the kills are ending up on the big horse. Scary Horse does have the garage sale going right now, but will soon be able to back and complete a whole item. Just gonna be doing some serious damage. I guess looking at the overall damage profile of their team, it really is on Oatmeal to do all this damage. Is Kenny Train's gonna get engaged on?
Yeah, Ace in the hole not quite going to be enough, but Stormblast coming in from the back by design. It seems as if Piplup will be taken down. The teleport just in time, but another teleport in reply as Stormblast now forced to flash away. Handicapo going in. Look at the damage. Look at those health bars ticking down. Lidbloom not quite going to clean it up as Kenny Train single-digit HP survives under the wing and watchful eye of Raptor and Stormblast.
Yeah, it's when you hit them with the all chat, not even close. Just make sure they know that it wasn't even worry. And in the meantime, they are just going to end up moving up and over to this dragon, clear it out. So that's 2 dragons stacked for Azura. You know, by all means, Fat Pikachu staying in this game, but you know, they're only down 600 gold, but the dragon stacking will become an issue. They are starting to get closer to getting those first items.
Yeah, but look at that. Glacial Prison once again landing onto Oatmeal 1234. Might need every single one of those health ticks to stay alive, but instead, Raptor getting turned on here. Lindblom playing incredibly aggressive still. All of these kills just slipping through the fingers of Asura Gaming, unable to convert once again. Handicapo trying to chase from behind, but now 4 members of Fat Pikachu here. The Fat Pikachu multiple are going to be able to shut that one down. Oatmeal not even close once again. This game just feels like such an Asura game.
Is it Fat Pikachuans?
Fat Pikas. Yeah.
Fat Pika.
Fat Pika. There we go. Keep making it easier.
But I mean, the one thing that you know, it just keeps coming up aces for Fat Pikachu. The gold lead now nearly extinguished. It doesn't really matter so much, so to speak, that the mid lane, the support matchup into Handicapo did not go super well for the likes of Goy, but they have been able to neutralize, like with Kenny Train just able to barely get out at the edge of that paranoia, even when Handicapo dived in. So if they're able to just play around and neutralize this Nocturne, you know, that could be a big problem for them, because Caitlyn, I mean, she does a ton of damage per se in the early game. She's got that range, but you know, with the likes of you know, she's gonna have 2 ranged 80 carries that are gonna be able to help push the wave back against her. So that's not really the play that you're gonna want to put all your eggs in all your baskets on that.
Yeah, and Handicapo comes to the bottom side. Spitting image of a gank we saw earlier. Still going to convert the same way. Raptor trying to find this one as well. Such low health bars, but Handicapo sent back to base. Oatmeal 1234 has found another one there. Every single time I will refer to them by their full name, by design. Going to be a 1-for-1 on the bottom side of the map.
Yep, and Isaac just putting on his dancing shoes there, just getting around every single skill shot being thrown his way as they try to poke him out from underneath that tower. Not going to happen. Just going to get out, and in the end, they're going to be able to get a kill back on the Handicapo. I mean, just as I was saying a second ago, you know, if you can't neutralize it, I guess the next best thing is to go 1-for-1. So in the end, they do expend that ultimate, the paranoia coming through. But they are able to get the kill back on Handicapo, able to get him off the map, and you know, it's going to free up some space for them to be able to get some waves pushed in here. Still haven't been able to fully crash the waves on mid lane and get too much damage on that mid lane turret, which is the next thing I would be looking to see, is if they put one of these 280 carries into the mid lane to keep these waves pushed in. But then they can lane with the Lulu. Maybe Isaac wants to take a trip up there, get some procs there. But in the end, I guess we're playing the waiting game. We have a minute and a half until this next dragon comes up, which is either Hex. It's Chemtech. It's Chemtech. I was like, it's Hextech or Chemtech because it hasn't updated the thing. But then I realized that the Rift has already changed, and I can see all the goo. So,
yeah, and I think another thing to mention, though, from draft, we were a little bit perplexed as to the Lulu mid here, but the twin 80 carries on the bottom side of the map here from Kenny Train and Raptor have found so much value, but another visit coming through from both junglers. It's Piplup finding Kenny Train very early on. Happy ending once again, sent down by Oatmeal 1,234. Here comes Johnny as the Nocturne shows up, finds a kill, gets out as a 2-for-1 for the side of Oscar Gaming.
And the downside of having the Nocturne is that they can just zoom into the fight from not too far. They just have to disappear from lane for a moment as they continue to pepper Repterra into the tower. Not able to get the tower in the end, but the Nocturne just has to be able to disappear for a moment, and especially when they're trying to dive onto the bot side of the map, you can get a really good angle on the dive there, coming just straight down the river if you come into the pit and such. So Handicapo still able to find those angles, still able to exert pressure and make these paranoias worth it. So, it's still looking good. All things being told, we're at 16 minutes, and the gold difference has again fluctuated to a little bit over 1,000, but both teams very much staying in it.
Yeah, interesting to note the first item coming through from Raptor as well. It's the Black Cleaver completed, which is very likely an item that Oatmeal 1,234 may complete down the line as well. Combo coming down onto Oatmeal, though. They will back out. Just a little bit of movement difference coming through as Happy ending. Able to get over the wall without the flash. This dragon, though, is the next point of contention. Third dragon potentially going over to Osra Gaming, and despite the fact that this game has been very back and forth, Astra have won out on the macro, picking up a Rift Herald, picking up that first tower, as well as the first 2 dragons of the game, but we finally get ourselves all 5 members in the area here. Born just trying to bide their time here, but around the back, you have to stay cognizant of Handicapo, just shoving that mid-wave. Here come the Strangled Thorns. That's a lot of damage being taken on to Oatmeal, but Oatmeal just healing through it. Potato Fry is able to chomp down on the Stormblast. Nom nom nom, and up you go. Sends 2 to the skies. Lindblom looking for a little bit more. This front line is so beefy already for the side of Osra Gaming, and Raptor slowly but surely chipping through it. They just turn their attention back towards the dragon. No Cho'Gath Chomp available. Might be an angle to get back in here. Raptor still very healthy, but it seems as if they will move off of here. They don't want to be part of an essay on how not to fight around the dragon. It's the third one. Oh my goodness.
It can't be real. It cannot
Lindblom
be
had
real.
Smite.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is correct. Wow, what a terrible day to have eyes.
I'm in shock. I mean, Kenny Train once a jungler, always a jungler. There steals away the dragon. Credit where credit's due.
Damn,
Lindblom.
The volley to end all volleys. Doesn't volley do like 4 damage? This shit does nothing.
The Lindblom needs to press F and just smite that.
Imagine if there was a button on your keyboard that just did like 900 damage. Oh, okay, it does 2 each, dealing 200. Okay. Okay, I mean, still, that's 700 HP worth of space Lindblom had. So, flame the junglers when they miss smite.
I get it.
Never say anything good when they actually hit smites.
They were trying to give the stack to Potato Fries. As Oatmeal 1,234 picks up another one on to Happy ending. This has been maybe the saddest ending I've ever seen. There's just no way this Caitlyn is able to survive this. Even flashing away, not able to escape. Long range Senna ultimate just to maybe secure it if necessary, but Oatmeal once again picks another one up. This guy's pretty good. Why was he playing ADC?
Dude, I like to see how this sucks when you're the Caitlyn flash to get towards the blast plant, and then Oatmeal just dives right past her with his E and is just like, yeah, go ahead and hit the blast plant. I'll go right with you, no problem. Just walks away sadly, accepting the fate of her death. Just sucks. Get good. Don't be bad.
Something else to get a check on here is the Senna stacks from Raptor here. Want to keep tabs on that. Interested to see... Oh my goodness, 82 stack. That's a lot of stacks. It's a lot of stacks coming through from Raptor. They're great stuff, but instead, it seems to be Oatmeal finally meeting their demise. Happy ending will secure it up, as will Lindblom. That's how you do it. That's how you secure an objective. Picking up the Rift Herald. Stormblast taking about a dozen damage from each of these shots. The tank, DPS, mage, assassin, whatever. I don't know what the quote is from
Shaman, Necromancer, Paladin, all that
there
stuff.
You go. You've got the quote. So you're good to go on that one. 20 minutes in, just before the Rift Herald despawns, they're able to pick it up. Asura Gaming, and we get ourselves a bingo as well. They're looking to push down another tower at the same time. Potato Fries does not care. He's walking forward menacingly.
Yeah, I mean, just moments ago, this game was exceptionally close, and I feel like when
flashing forward here on a Raptor, might be able to secure it up. The long-range Ash Arrow not quite going to land either. I wish I could give you time to analyze, but Asura doesn't care. They love the action. Here's Piplup taken away. Kenny Train puts him in a body bag. And now Happy Ending, once again, has to get over this wall. Gets over the wall. They're safe.
Tempo is a word that is can be overused in the League of Legends esports space. I mean, it had its moment. And the word tempo is not the Omega buzzword it was a couple of years ago, but like this is one of those tempo plays where like because Oatmeal got the kill on Happy Ending, don't get me wrong, yeah, cool. But because they expended getting over the wall, they took a lot of damage on getting out of that. They weren't really able to contest that space that led to them dying there. They push in and get these two turrets, and then of course Ashura stays a little too long, so then they're able to start pushing them back, and it's just back and forth right now. We are even back up at 10, but now the 3K gold lead, as we are past 21 minutes, is in the hands of Ashura. Nothing crazy. 3K is not super terrible, but it remains to be seen how things are going to shake up here with the third dragon, possibly the fourth dragon overall, of course, but the third dragon stack coming up here for Ashura. Is this something that Fat Pikachu is going to want to contest, or are they going to say, that's okay, we'll get waves, we'll try and actually crack one of these turrets down, and we will actually contest the soul point rather than just trying to stop you from reaching soul point?
Yeah, I think there's some sort of famous quote. There's three things that are assured in life, or assured? I don't know. I'm trying to make a pun out of it. Death, Taxes, and Asura playing like crazy people. That's just what's happening. They love the chaos here. Interesting thing to note, though, Potato Fries integrating quite well back into the lineup. Polar, I believe, played a couple of weeks with the side here, playing a lot of carries top lanes, notably the Fiora. This time around, though, they're able to just pivot very seamlessly over to this Cho'Gath, playing with a tank top laner, providing a different skill set. And it's interesting to see that they've still developed their same game plan despite the alteration in their lanes here. Oh, Meal 1234 is dead. Gets chomped down. Nom from Potato Fries. Definitely had more than enough to eat on that one, as this Cho'Gath is getting chonky, and there's not a whole lot of ways to deal with it.
Why are we here, guys? Please leave.
Oh, man, yeah, Stormblast, the Ram just runs right through the red light. Stormblast needs to be careful as Lindblom going for another engage. Here comes Johnny once again into the backline. Handicapo on top of the Ash.
No
Kenny Train
shot.
taking so much damage, but look at this. The cutting. The Lulu ultimate is going to be enough. Kenny Train staying alive with a sliver. Piplup, though, here to help out. Kill going over to Happy Ending. Kill going over to Lindblom. Another one going to be in the pockets of Piplup as Stormblast forced to run for the hills. It's a 4-for-1 around the dragon. As you alluded to, why are we still here just to suffer?
Yep. That was exactly what I was winking and nodding at. I bring this up like probably every other time that I end up on the casting desk, and it's like one of my number one pet peeves, and it like triggers me to Kingdom Come when I'm in solo queue trying to like spam ping my team to not do this. Like, we can count to 4. It is something I expect all players in friend or foe to be able to do. So we count. They had 2 dragons. Plus 1 is 3 dragons. Is that a dragon soul? No. We don't have to fight. Especially since Oatmeal showed up there, showed his face, got caught out, is what it is. But then that's it. The end. Just go about your business. I really am not sure what Fat Pikachu is expecting to happen there, but frankly, they got what they deserved. So I mean, that's just the way it goes. In the end, it's now expanded to edging towards a 5K gold lead for the side of Ashura. The big thing to point out there is, as you noted, I mean, like Kenny Train able to kite out pretty well there from Handy Capo, but didn't end up mattering because it took away the damage.
Yeah, happy ending once again just shut down as Oatmeal 1,234 does about 1,234 damage to a happy ending. Bloom will collect it in return there. All I know from recent events as well, if you worked for an Orioles broadcast for that criticism of Fat Pikachu, you'd lose your job. I don't know if you've seen that,
no.
but that is, it's very true though. Fat
Wait,
Pikachu,
what?
do
Someone got in trouble for the Orioles for telling them they're garbage?
For saying that they didn't have a good record at Tropicana Field. It was not harsh criticism. It was very mild, and the Orioles do better, Orioles. Come on. Do it for the birds. Something else to keep in mind as we turn our attention back to the game. There's a Baron going on right now. Raptor going up in the air. Up you go. Not the right skin. Don't care. Lindblom finds a third in a row for themselves. Stormblast trying to tank up in that front line, but finally Potato Fries starting to crack. Kenny Train going hard. Here comes the Ash. Here comes the damage. Here comes the Hunter's Focus as well. Looking forward, pushing forward aggressively. Kenny Train staying alive with all the shields, but happy ending is here to play. Kenny Train trying to stay alive. Lindblom doesn't do enough damage here, and Kenny Train gonna stay alive once again. Shut down, picked up by the Ashes. She keeps on firing. The volleys do not stop. Stormblast shuts down Potato Fries as the action subsides for a little bit. It's a 2 for 2 as 3 members survive on either side. No. It's a 3 for 2 as only 2 members of Fat Pikachu stay alive. It's the 3 for 2 at the end of it. Stormblast going to be able to get away. Piplup does not have the Leandres quite yet.
Wow, I thought the fight was gonna go way different with the flanking Caitlyn. I thought they were just gonna turn around and one-shot happy ending there. So that's interesting. One thing to point out: shouts out to Haney Capo actually peeling for his team by just cracking the paranoia on the way out while he was fleeing, and he's just like, "Well, best I can do is turn out the lights. Good luck." And actually, pretty heads-up play. It's underrated, just being able to turn the lights off in a fight, even if you're not using to go in. So very good. Handy Capo really doing very well today on this Nocturne pick.
It's worked out. And while they may not have as many kills as it may seem from the outside perspective with how many successful ults they've had, Handy Capo has done their job, has made Kenny Train's life so difficult to exist and forced all of these resources to be burned into keeping this Ash alive at all costs. Protect the president, as they would say. But another factor of all of this is you've got a Caitlyn on this side. And this is where I get to put on the Colorcaster hat a little bit, do a little bit of theory crafting here. Caitlyn has 650 range. She has the highest attack range in the game. Major thing that you can do is when you go nearsighted, you have, I believe, 500 vision range or 600, something like that. Caitlyn outranges the Nocturne ultimate, so you can never see when the Caitlyn's auto-attacking you. She's just auto-attacking you from the darkness for 6 seconds, and that is so valuable in these close quarter fights. Unfortunately, it seems as if the lights have been turned out on Asura Gaming because this Baron is burning down quickly. Lindblom's going to check it, and they may be too late.
Yeah, I think they just got caught checking Twitter. And here we go.
Oh, yeah, lights out for real this time as Handy Capo goes in. Lots of damage being taken on both sides. Oatmeal is very low, but Kenny Train is here to play. Happy ending, though. We'll clear it up. It's actually Piplup collecting 2. Maybe you should try and get that evolution going. Primplump has showed up. It's a double kill picked up for the Zyra. Once again, Baron for 3 isn't the worst case scenario as Goy continues to push down and collect the first tower of the game. The Fat Pikachu overstayed their welcome just a little bit.
Yeah. Worth, right? Yep, worth. You have to say it in all chat, first of all. You have to say it in all chat or it's not worth. But, you know, they got the Baron, they got some gold in their pocket. I think it's going to cost them this inhibitor. Maybe even not the inhibitor. Yeah, it's just going to cost them the turret, which is not terrible. The one thing about when you take down the turret but not the inhibitor is that you can manicure the wave as much as you want. You don't have to worry about your turret breaking a freeze or anything like that, so... that'll be interesting to watch. Yeah, they did get some brick gold over for getting that crack by Goy. So the Baron gold.
Lulu.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Piplup going in, looking for the solo bolo. It's going to be Potato Fries screaming to clean that one up as well. Oatmeal 1,234 will not be able to secure it either. Handicapo into the back lines. Will try and clear someone up. There's one picked up. Kenny Train removed from play. It's two picked up with the barf trail. As Handicapo finds all the value that you need out of a Nocturne. Goy needs to run for the hills. Stormbless trying to get an upgrade down will not be successful in doing so. Asura Gaming, despite what the haters may believe, they are here to stay here in FOF, trying to secure themselves up that third place finish. And Stormblast, despite the tankiness from the DPS, etc., yeah, is probably going to go down here because Lindblom's just as tanky. Up you go once again, and Lindblom clears it out.
All right, I want to, if I could, Zach, can we get a little check on the stacks rather for Cho'Gath? I want to see how my man's doing here. 12 stacks, but hover, yeah. So 5 is from minions, 3 is from champions. Okay, that makes sense. And
look at
3
this
is from
graph.
dragons. Oh.
Look at this Gath. 12 stacks, looking quite good.
This thick boy.
This could be curtains for the side of Fat Pikachu. Of course, their tournament lives are still in good hands, as actually Kenny Train shuts down Piplup. Unfortunately, Ice, not super effective against ghost types. It's just neutral effectiveness. The ghost comes through, finds another kill for themselves. Raptor doing everything that they can, and honestly has had a strong performance. It just doesn't matter. There's too much damage. Happy ending. Gonna fire off a shot. Goy gonna block it up once again, but forced to retreat are the Lulu and the Senna, as another inhibitor set to fall. 2 already taken off of the board. It seems as if Asura will not overstay their welcome. They will back off, spend some of that hard-earned gold. 6,500 gold in the lead is the side of ASG, looking to clear this one out and lock that spot down for themselves.
Yeah, and just as a note here to tap onto what you had said a moment ago, Piplup really looking good here. I'm thinking that the name of the game, honestly, should be totaling the kills and the assists, and we'll just leave the deaths out of it. So that's gonna put this Prinplup up there at level 23. Another 13 kills and assists could get him that evolution to the Empoleon. I don't think that the Prinplup is going to have enough time in this game to get up there, but we will see. They do have the Dragon Soul, so I'm pretty sure this is just curtains the next time that these two match up, but we'll see. So yeah, that's the game now. I've called it. I hope that's agreeable with you. Can I get a second?
Yeah, honestly, and I mean, the Prinplup at this point has Bubble Beam, so, going to be doing a little bit more stab damage there. Does Thorns technically stab as well? No, good one. Good one, Adam. Good stuff. Metal Claw as well in the inventory in terms of learn set. Not really sure if Prinplup learns any moves that do, like, damage over time or per turn or anything like that, but that Leandres has been working overtime, slowing everyone down as well alongside that Rylai's. Seems as if this is the last stand for the side of Fat Pikachu here. A team that started out this season with so much promise has fallen from the mountaintop here. Fallen from Olympus. Unlike Olympus, who just... yeah, they disappeared. I don't know what happened with them, but nonetheless, Fat Pikachu trying to hold their lives here. Trying to hold on to everything that they're worth. At worst, they get a tiebreaker to make playoffs. At best, they win tomorrow and maybe are able to lock themselves into that 5th slot. But nonetheless, Asura Gaming will be perfectly happy to take them on in battle once again. 1 Nexus Tower already down. We're zoomed out because there's so much going on here. This siege is relentless as they continue to bear their fangs down onto the towers in Fat Pikachu's base.
Really thought Handicapo was going to just straight up kill Raptor there while he was away from his team. Just right before. Luckily, he hit his W there, or E rather. Sorry, made himself untargetable. But I really thought Handicapo was just going to one tap my boy. And it looks like this final inhibitor is in their eyes. So here we go, final fight.
Yeah, could be the final fight of the game. Will it be much of a fight? It is yet to be determined. Lindblom, though, taken very low. Needs to be careful on that Sejuani. Radiant Virtue going to heal up just a little bit, keep everyone topped up, but Potato Fry's taking so much damage. Happy Ending takes down Oatmeal 1,234. It's a big shot into Stormbless. The arrow lands, does not matter, as Piplup takes down Goy. Kenny Train in the front line trying to do everything they can, but the Ash is nowhere to be found. Ash to ashes, as they would say. And now the rest of the team soon to fall. Stormblessed with a sliver left. Will Cho'Gath eat some lamb for dinner tonight? No. Yes, they will actually at the end of it. All 5 members of Osira Gaming will finish this one off on the Nexus. 12-5 is the record for Osira as they take down Fat Pikachu once again.
And I just want to correct the record there for something that I heard there. Orin's a goat. He's having goat for dinner.
Whatever it is, goat curry's decent. I've had
goat
it once
curry
or
is
twice.
dope. I was literally just talking about this yesterday. Sorry, random tangent. Shouts out to Azura Gaming. At dinner yesterday, I was making a joke with my family about how if I really wanted to invest my money, I would just buy those goats that you always see like eating the grass on like the side of the freeways and stuff that they just hire out of. I don't know if this is like some crazy shit to people around other parts of the world or the country, but like this is very common in California, like to see goats like on the side of the road eating grass, and it's just like, yeah, if there's ever a performance evaluation, someone's not pulling their weight, I'll just make them goat curry. So anyway. That's my tangent.
I can't relate at all. They don't do that in Canada, I guess. Nonetheless, looking across the board here, great game coming through from Piplup. 35,000 damage, topping the damage charts, showing everyone why they deserve at least an eye or two for MVP voting as well. Incredible stuff coming through. But honestly, I think in their return to the Osira Gaming lineup, Potato Fries with an excellent performance. 7, 1, and 10, protecting their life, protecting their team's life. A fantastic performance. But of course, on the flip side, Oatmeal 1,234 alongside Kenny Train, doing quite well in those role swaps. I'm interested to see if they do it again tomorrow. That is my main takeaway. If they do that again tomorrow, potentially it bodes better results for themselves.
Yep, and we'll just have to tip our hat to the Eviolite Printplup here, doing some serious work. I thought that overall, considering that Goy came in to fill in the shoes of someone like Jakunk, who's been super crazy in the league as of late. So just tip of the hat, of course, for subs coming in, relieving people and taking a step out onto the big stage. Very good. Of course, looking at it overall, Oatmeal did his damnedest to try and be the big carry, be the big scary horse. But in the end, Fat Pikachu gonna fall today, so we'll have to see how things shake out with the 5-dimensional Mahjong tiebreaker scenario.
Yeah, and of course, update on all of that with Fat Pikachu's loss. They are now at 9 and 8 in the trees, and UB are at 8 and 9. Interesting slate of games tomorrow, where UB, I believe they play against Pandas with Hats. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. A game they could be expected to, or in the trees plays Pandas with Hats. Sorry. What could be an expected game for them? Fat Pikachu play someone. Osira Gaming plays up against UB, and that is a big game. If Osira Gaming are to win, UB are eliminated from playoff contention with an INT win. If both teams lose, then INT and UB will play a tiebreaker, and Fat Pikachu will get themselves a playoff berth regardless of results. If Fat Pikachu lose, INT win, and UB win, 3-way tiebreaker. Enjoy that one, Chris Sanga, and as well, enjoy the rest of your night, everyone else. That wraps us up for tonight, apart from the interview that we're going to have in just a little bit. That wraps it up for me, at the very least. I will see you tomorrow for games. Stay tuned for an interview with Potato Fries.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth here with our third and final interview for this first day of the final week of Friend or Foe Series 7, and I am joined by the returning top laner of Azura Gaming. I'm joined today by Potato Fries. How you feeling?
Feeling good after a win.
Right on. Well, let's step through it. So, looking at this game, there was a lot of moving parts, a lot of different players shuffling around in this composition on your side as well as on their side. You, as I mentioned, returning after a week off. Polar did some serious work in your shoes. Now you're back in the saddle in the top side, as well as we saw Kenny move around, as well as Oatmeal, 1,234. I want to say. So what were your folks' thoughts and plans coming into this match, knowing that there was going to be this sort of shake-up, and what was the plan coming in, and how did you think about how the draft shook out?
Right, well, from what I heard from our captain about the draft, I was a little bit concerned about Xerath because he's gotten buffed recently, and their support played it before, or their new mid laner. So I knew that it could transition to the mid lane well. Also, the Camille is terrifying, so I'm glad that that was not something we had to deal with after banning it out. And otherwise, I think we just kind of wanted to try some things out, play a little bit of comfort.
Yeah, and the interesting thing to point out is that you were not in the main action, so to speak. We saw Polar getting the Fiora. You, my friend, you're on Cho'Gath duty in the lane against the Ornn. Looking into the game, overall, I felt like you folks had a very fairly strong grasp on the game. Although, to be honest, it actually stayed relatively close for a good portion of that game in golden kills, just because they were able to exploit some opportunities I felt like you folks gave them. Talk to me a little bit, if you could, about what it was like for you up in the top lane, and then just sort of playing this top side well and having all of this stuff going on, especially with the Nocturne just going in on cooldown.
Right, I felt like I was on a bit of an island up there in the top lane, which I was very happy with because I was getting stacks, which I would rather have stacks than like kills or gold or anything, because it gives me more dopamine. So I was very happy with the situation.
How did what were the comms like, and what were the reaction like around that the fourth dragon of the game, your third dragon for you folks, when Oatmeal just ran into you guys, and then they just decided to fiesta conga line into you guys and just die chain at the dragon? What was like going through your guys' head when you saw them inting like that?
Oh, I was very happy. I think it was Piplup who got a pick with the Zyra. We were both in the bush, and from there it felt kind of like, up until that point, like we were winning, but there's a strong chance of them still coming back. But after that, their chances, I would say, dropped significantly. So we got to relax a little bit.
Yeah, it was. I think that, as you say, that was pretty much the point where it actually stopped from being a seesaw. One of the things that we were talking about in the game is that, well, I should tip my hat to Rare Adam, who said there's 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Ashura going absolutely crazy in the game. So you guys were definitely willing to scrap at any and all points in the game. And like I said, that was sort of like a little bit of your downfall, because or not your downfall, because you ended up winning, but that was how you folks kept them in the game, so to speak. So Fat Pikachu, like we talked about earlier, that they needed that win to sort of be masters of their own fate. So now we'll have to see how things shake out for them tomorrow. But for Azura, this locks in at least a third, fourth place. I think, as we said in the break, this might actually be the third place lock for Azura. How does that feel for you, knowing that you folks are going to be getting a good berth in the playoffs?
It feels good, I'm happy that Polar was able to help out while I was away. I think he probably did some good work from what I've heard. So I'm happy that we can continue into playoffs with a relatively good placement in the regular season, and I think that we started out a little slower in the season, so I think having a stronger second half will bode well for us.
All right, well, Potato Fries, thank you so much for stopping by for this interview. Before we close things up for the night, your final opportunity here on the desk. Any final thoughts? Any shout outs? Any banter?
Shout out to my team for being good while I'm just on an island, I guess.
There you go. Shouts out to the Assura squad. I mean, it sounds like flexible crew, able to swap you and Polar out and still getting great results. So very good. Bodes well for you folks headed on, as you said, with that strong second half heading into these playoffs. So that's going to be it, folks. We're wrapped up here, just 3 games today. We'll be back at it with our final day of the regular season. There's still stakes to be played for, so you're not going to want to miss it. That's going to be it for us tonight. We will be back at our usual time tomorrow. We will see you all then. Thank you and good night.